They tried to bury your power beneath distraction, chaos, and subtle attacks. But look at you, still rising, still watching, still chosen. You didn't land on this message by mistake. The enemy's biggest fear is happening in real time. You're waking up to who you really are. And that alone is the shift. They threw darts in the dark, hoping you'd never figure out how dangerous your light is. But here you are, sensing something deeper, something sharp and undeniable crawling through your chest, whispering, "This message is mine." You've been catching hell, not because you're weak, but because you're wired to win. Everything they plotted, everything they whispered behind your back, everything they laughed about in rooms you were never supposed to enter, it's folding in on them. Their tactics are unraveling. The very energy they used to delay you is now suffocating them. Because what they didn't know is this: every lie they told on your name only made your truth louder. Every obstacle they threw was secretly a stepping stone. You weren't cursed, you were calibrated, precision built, and nothing they do can unmark what was always meant to rise. To all my chosen ones watching this, your existence is a weapon. You don't have to fight loud, you just have to be real. And that realness alone, it haunts them. Your silence exposes, your presence disarms, and your glow. It's unbearable to those who only survive in shadow. They couldn't handle your unbothered aura, your intuition that caught their masks slipping, or your ability to bounce back from chaos like it never touched you. And the scariest part for them? You're just getting started. If you're still here, it's not by chance. It's by alignment. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and remember this: your power isn't coming. It's always been here, hidden in plain sight. Before moving ahead, let me pause and offer heartfelt thanks to every soul who has supported this sacred mission through super thanks. Your giving is more than generosity. It's a quiet echo of divine alignment, a signal that you're not just receiving this word, you're responding to it in purpose. Your seed of faith helps carry this light into the hearts of those still wandering through shadows, reminding them they are not forgotten. And if this message has stirred something ancient in your spirit, if you feel the weight of divine truth settling in your chest, comment 999 below. Not for recognition, but as a personal covenant, a whisper to the heavens that you're in agreement, that you're choosing alignment over delay, purpose over fear, and light over silence. Number 1. Stop ignoring the pull in your spirit. You were summoned, not scrolled here. Pause for a moment. Don't scroll past this like it's just another voice echoing through your feed. Something in your spirit has already started leaning in. That soft heat in your chest, the sudden stillness behind your eyes, the electricity dancing in your hands. That's not emotion. That's recognition. That's your soul nodding at a truth it's heard before. But only now is it allowed to remember. You weren't guided here randomly. This isn't a suggestion from an algorithm. This is alignment from something far greater. You could have stumbled on this any day, but no, you were pulled here today, in this moment, because timing matters. Because divine rotations don't wait for convenience. They strike when your spirit is finally ready to receive what your mind couldn't handle before. 3 nights ago, I was awakened with clarity so sharp it felt like thunder in my chest. I didn't just hear words, I felt a command, not a whisper, not a maybe, but a clear instruction. Tell them everything, now, and so here I am, and here you are. This message isn't broad. It's not meant to land on wandering ears. It's surgical, it's sacred, it's coded in the exact frequency that only the marked can feel. This is for the one who's been bearing burdens that never made sense. For the one who quietly asked, "Why does it always feel heavier for me?" when no one was listening. For for the one who's been showing up strong while fighting invisible battles behind closed doors. You're not cursed. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. There's a difference between wandering and being led, and chosen ones. You've been led here because the shift isn't coming. It's already here. The atmosphere around your life has started cracking open like lightning before a storm. You don't have to wait for a sign. You are the sign. And everything that once felt stuck is about to start speaking in motion. So look around. Feel deeper. That breath you just took, that wasn't ordinary air. That was alignment entering your lungs. That wasn't a chill down your spine. That was truth brushing against your purpose. The whisper you just heard inside your mind that said, "This is it," wasn't your imagination. It was a spiritual memory waking up. Number 2. Quit mislabeling the fire. It was sent to build you, not break you. Chosen one, let's stop right here and clear something up. Because the enemy has been hoping you'd never figure this out. That fire you've been walking through, that heat pressing against your chest, the pressure that made you question everything, even your worth, that wasn't punishment. That was preparation. You were never meant to burn. You were meant to forge. Steel is never strengthened in comfort. It's sharpened in flame. And the fire you've been enduring wasn't meant to consume you. It was heaven's tool to expose what couldn't be destroyed. You've been mistaking your wilderness as abandonment, but it's actually been divine craftsmanship. Do you know how many people crumbled under the same weight you're still carrying? That's not weakness. That's evidence. That's proof that your assignment isn't common. And that's why your test had to be specific, because your purpose isn't average. You've been stretched so far you thought you'd snap, but chosen ones don't break. They expand. They outgrow what others stay trapped in. The fire didn't destroy you, it revealed you. And if you're still standing, still breathing, still searching for answers even with ash on your face, that means heaven isn't done yet. So stop calling your trials curses. Stop labeling your pressure as failure. Chosen one, the flame came for what was fake, not for what was faithful. And what's left of you right now, that's the real you. Unshakable, untouchable, refined. Let that be your confirmation. You were built for fire. Now stand tall in the ashes, because the next chapter requires the version of you that only fire could produce. Number 3. Don't confuse intuition for emotion. That restlessness is a divine alarm. Chosen one, that discomfort you've been brushing off as overthinking, it's not just anxiety. It's not just you being dramatic. That uneasiness in your chest, that strange alertness in your spirit when nothing seems wrong on the surface, that's not emotion. It's divine intuition, and it's time to stop second-guessing it. You weren't designed to sleepwalk through life. You were marked to sense what others ignore, and what you've been feeling lately, the strange tension, the shift in the room, the pull away from certain people. It's all by design. Karma is circling, spiritual cycles are tightening, and your soul is trying to warn you before things unfold. Chosen ones don't get regular peace. You get divine nudges, because you're not just walking into rooms, you're walking into assignments. And sometimes your restlessness is heaven screaming, "Don't go there, don't trust that, don't stay stuck." Stop labeling your awareness as emotional instability. Your insight is not a burden, it's a gift of protection. You weren't meant to blend in or feel safe in every space. You were built to sense the storm before it hits. You carry spiritual sonar. That means when karma is getting ready to visit those around you, your spirit will know before your eyes ever do. So don't ignore the alarm. Trust the shift. Your knowing isn't a glitch. It's your calling. Number 4. Stop letting pain silence you. Your scars hold the blueprint to break through. Chosen one, how long have you been taught to hide your hurt? To tuck away the wounds, bury the memories, and wear strength like a mask while your spirit limps behind the scenes. They told you silence was noble, that healing meant forgetting, but what if I told you that silence was never strength, it was suppression? And what if the scars you were told to hide are actually the map to your destiny? The pain you've endured didn't come to cripple you. It came to carve messages into your spirit, messages only the marked could carry. Each heartbreak etched wisdom into your chest. Every betrayal wrote a line of resilience into your bones. And the tears you cried in secret, they were ink. Heaven used them to write blueprints only you could read. You were never meant to erase your past. You were meant to decode it. The world tells you to move on, but the divine says, look again, because the very thing you've been trying to escape is the exact place your power was born. Your scars don't disqualify you. They qualify you. They tell the truth of what you've survived, and more than that, what you're now ready to build. So stop silencing your story, chosen one. Speak with the authority of someone who's been through the fire and didn't come out empty-handed. Your scars aren't ugly. They're instructions. Your pain isn't a weight, it's a weapon. And the moment you stop hiding your history is the moment your breakthrough starts unfolding. Because what once hurt you is now your harvest. Number 5. Stop hiding your depth. Your sensitivity is the weapon, not the weakness. They told you to toughen up. They called you too emotional. They labeled your silence as passive and your compassion as naive. But here's what they never understood. Your depth wasn't a flaw, it was a divine signal. That sensitivity. It wasn't weakness, it was sacred weaponry. Chosen one, you feel things others run from. You sense shifts before they surface. You cry when no one else understands why, because heaven wired your spirit to pick up what others dismiss. You don't just see people's actions. You discern their intention. You don't just hear words. You hear the energy behind them. And in a world that glorifies numbness, your ability to feel is holy. But somewhere along the line, life taught you to shrink, to downplay, to numb, to pretend you didn't care as much as you did. Why? Because people feared the mirror your heart provided. Your love exposed their lack. Your intuition made their masks uncomfortable. But the season for hiding is over. Your sensitivity was never a delay. It was preparation. A spiritual sonar, a built-in radar to navigate betrayals, recognize alignment, and activate healing. You weren't designed to blend in with noise. You were created to hear the whispers of destiny before they echo. Let karma do its part with those who misunderstood you. But as for you, stand up, feel fully, see deeply, and stop apologizing for what was always your spiritual edge. Number 6. Don't measure your journey by their timeline. Your wilderness is working. Chosen one, hear this loud and clear. Your life was never supposed to look like theirs. The moment you start comparing your path to theirs, you rob yourself of the glory hidden in your process. You're not behind, you're being built. While they post their highlights, you're out here living the kind of silence that shakes heaven. And I need you to know, heaven sees it all. You weren't called to microwave blessings. Your destiny is being slow cooked in the fire, forged, refined, and made unshakable. So stop cursing your wilderness like it's punishment. Your wilderness is your womb. It's where clarity grows. It's where power gets planted. It's where vision isn't given to the crowd. It's whispered in solitude. You were never supposed to keep pace with the world. The world operates on ego's clock. You move by heaven's timing. And when God's hand is involved, what looks like a delay is actually protection. What feels like silence is preparation. And what others call stuck is really sacred stillness. Let them run ahead. Let them flash their success. But chosen one, don't forget. Some get there fast and lose it faster. What you're building will outlast storms because it's built on faith, obedience, and fire-tested purpose. Number 7. Stop asking, "Why me?" You were targeted because you're marked for more. Chosen one, you've asked that question more times than you can count. Why me? Why did they betray me? Why do the battles feel so personal? Why does life hit me harder than the rest? Let me tell you something the enemy hoped you'd never figure out. You weren't being punished. You were being profiled. You were marked before you ever made a move. The warfare didn't wait until you rose. It hit you when you were still discovering your own worth. That wasn't by accident. It was because hell recognized the weight of your future before you did. See, when you're chosen, opposition shows up early. It doesn't wait until the crown is placed on your head. It tries to crush you in the crib. It attacks your mind before you speak. It poisons your relationships before you know what love is. It isolates you, so you'll start believing the lie. Maybe I'm just cursed. But you're not cursed. You're carrying something too rare to go unnoticed. Karma doesn't forget. The pain others inflicted on you wasn't just cruelty, it was a reaction to your light. And now the scale is tipping. Heaven's record is intact. Every injustice has been noted, every tear has been collected, and the same people who thought they'd win by breaking you are about to watch you rise with fire on your breath and destiny in your stride. So stop asking, "Why me?" and start declaring, "Watch me." Number 8. Quit believing silence means you're forgotten. Your tears are on record in heaven. Chosen one, silence isn't evidence that heaven turned its back. It's proof that the courtroom of justice was preparing your case. You thought nothing was happening, but everything was being written down. Not a single tear you cried in the dark went unnoticed. Not a single night you pressed your hand to your chest, trying to hold your soul together, was wasted. You weren't ignored, you were documented. There are records, sacred scrolls filled with your cries, your battles, your endurance. Heaven didn't move loudly because it was moving legally. Karma doesn't show up when we want it to. It shows up when the scales are finally tipped, and for you, they're tipping now. You thought the silence meant delay. No, chosen one, it meant preparation. And now, the divine law has been activated. You're about to see why the pain lingered, why the storm didn't break when you begged, why the people you trusted walked away without apology. It wasn't abandonment, it was alignment. You were being separated, refined, readied for everything that's about to arrive. You've wept in secret, but now karma will speak in public. What was done to you is echoing in heaven, and the reply is coming loud. You didn't lose, you lasted. Number 9. Stop dimming to survive. You were born to disrupt, not to blend in. There's a reason your presence unsettles people who've built their lives on performance. There's a reason silence wraps the room when you walk in. Not because you're trying to steal attention, but because your energy speaks a language too honest for masks to survive. Let's call it what it is. You were never meant to blend in. You were never created to shrink, to smile small, to tone down your truth, just so others could stay comfortable in their denial. Chosen one, you've spent too long dimming your brilliance so the insecure could feel safe. But that safety came at your expense. And now karma's at the door, holding receipts. Every time you silenced your voice to avoid being too much. Every time you played small so people wouldn't call you arrogant. Every time you swallowed wisdom because no one else was ready to hear it. Heaven recorded it all. You weren't sent here to decorate the background. You were sent to shift the room, to break the rhythm of dysfunction, to disturb the spirits that have kept generations stuck in cycles of fear. Your light wasn't designed for harmony, it was forged for holy disruption. And yes, disruption costs comfort. but it births freedom. So this is your wake-up call. You don't owe the world a quieter version of yourself. You owe heaven your obedience. And obedience requires visibility. Power, voice, presence. No more camouflage. No more walking on eggshells. Your light is non-negotiable. Number 10. Don't miss the countdown. Your Jericho walls are about to collapse. Chosen one, your silence has spoken louder than their noise, and now the heavens are counting down, not to destruction, but to deliverance. Every invisible wall that stood between you and what was promised is trembling. But here's the truth no one ever told you. Walls don't fall by waiting. They fall when the marked move. You've circled that same barrier for years, relational pain, financial drought, spiritual fog. You've cried prayers that cracked your voice, walked in obedience when all you got in return was stillness, and stayed faithful when others laughed at your pace. But that wasn't stagnation. That was strategy. Your consistency wasn't ignored. It was multiplied. Every step you took in the dark was documented. Like Joshua before Jericho, you didn't need to understand the how, you just had to walk. And now, heaven's breath is moving through your obedience. These aren't just bricks in your way. These are karmic structures built by past betrayals, generational strongholds, and delays rooted in disobedience that wasn't even yours. But God saw it, and justice is being served, not just around you, but through you. Chosen one, don't miss this countdown, because this time you're not walking in circles, you're marching toward collapse. And when that wall falls, it won't just make a sound, it'll make space for your promise, for your breakthrough, for what's been waiting on the other side of your faith. Number 11. Delay isn't always waiting. Sometimes it's fear wearing a holy mask. Chosen one, let's strip the disguise. Not every delay is divine. Sometimes what we call patience is really fear wrapped in spiritual language. We tell ourselves we're waiting for confirmation, but deep down, we already heard the call. We just didn't like what obedience would cost. You say you're waiting on timing, but timing's been standing at your door, knocking, shouting, weeping, and you've called it a test when it was a demand. Obedience isn't passive. It's not just sitting still hoping something shifts. Obedience is movement, even when you're afraid. It's stepping forward when the outcome isn't promised, when the water hasn't parted yet. Some of the chosen have been tricked by delay disguised as discernment. You say, I'm not ready. But ready doesn't mean comfortable. Ready means willing. And the truth is, some of the things you're praying for are delayed not by God, but by your hesitation. The calling didn't change, your courage did. Karma doesn't forget hesitation. Heaven doesn't reschedule forever. When the moment comes, it's either you walk through it or you watch it be handed to someone else. Delay too long, and your name gets passed down with your purpose attached, unfinished. So ask yourself, beloved, are you really waiting or are you avoiding? Be honest, because the answer holds the weight of your next season. Number 12. This Chyros moment won't wait. Say yes now or risk losing what's yours. Chosen one. Not everything returns when you're finally ready. Some doors are sealed by hesitation. Some blessings expire when they're not claimed on time. This moment you're standing in, this is Chyros, divine timing. Not your schedule, not your plan. This is heaven's clock striking your name. You've been sensing it, haven't you? The quickening, the deep urgency, that tug in your chest that says, do it now. That's not fear, that's a countdown. Because when the universe starts to stir and align on your behalf, it doesn't repeat itself forever. This is the moment that separates the called from the courageous, the dreamers from the doers. Every delay that wore a spiritual mask, every excuse that sounded wise but came from fear, they've all served their time. Now comes decision. Will you say yes to what was written with your name on it? Or will you scroll past hoping the door waits? Heaven doesn't beg, it invites. And karma, yes, even karma, echoes what you've been avoiding. If you don't rise now, you risk watching someone else walk through the door you were born for. Say yes, not tomorrow, not when it's easier. Now, because delay doesn't just cost time, it can cost legacy. Affirm it out loud. I will not miss what was written for me. And as we close this moment, let this truth settle deep in your spirit. Delay is dangerous when destiny is calling. You weren't guided here by accident. This was your confirmation, your reminder, your summons. So if something inside you is stirring, don't silence it, embrace it, because when chosen ones say yes, entire timelines shift. If this message spoke to your soul, like this video, subscribe to the channel and drop "I say yes" in the comments as your declaration of alignment. Your agreement today activates what's already been waiting for you in the unseen. This is your moment. Own it.